Hello, in this video we're going to show you a little bit about the pay button. So it's also called pay by link, but we've got a pay button here because what you get from it is a little button to send your customer so they can click on that and make the payment that you've requested. But you can also get it as a link, just to mention. So some of the stuff's already going to be on there. So merchant account, so if you wanted to route this through another account, say you knew you were taking it from a customer on your Amex one or something like that, or you've got multiple businesses, you've got different mids, just make sure you got the right one there. Transaction types, so most of the time this is going to be a sale for a pay button. Probably don't want to run a refund through a pay button. Maybe if they wanted to take it on another card, you would want to put that through there. So merchant country, that's most of the time going to be UK, but set it as you need. Currency, we don't have any others enabled on our one, but if you've got them here, you want to take the amount in that, go ahead, check it on the other currency. Amount, I'm going to put in an example amount just to show you. So you just enter this like that. Obviously that's required. Capture settle, so like on the virtual terminal, you can set custom times for when this is taken from your customer. So even if they go through today, they press the link to make the payment. If you've got this, the payment's going to automatically be taken in, let's say 20 days, that payment will still get taken from their card in 20 days, not immediately. Or if you've got it on automatically immediately, then you're good to go to take it today. So button text, most people I think leave this at pay now, but say if you want to change it to click here to pay, then that's what you need. So I'll just change that to pay now. Order description, so that's optional, but obviously it's good to have it just so you can find the transaction a bit easier and so your customer knows what they're paying for. So order description, we're going to be paying for 1 hat. Redirect URL, so this is required. So you need to put some sort of secure URL in here. So you can see here HTTPS, it needs to be a secure site. So if you've got a gateway or just a page on your website that just says, payment taken, you want to put that in here, the full website address with the secure URL beginning the HTTPS. You want that in there. So I'm just going to do a nice fake one from Google. Google secure site, google.com, and then if you wanted to have a different page, so this is optional but I do recommend it if you want to have another page for a failed payment, particularly, so maybe one that takes them back to the site so they can try again, or just says payment not taken, you would again want to put that in here. I'm not going to put it in just because it is optional. I'm just going to show you the bare bones on this one. Notification email, so that's going to tell you, it's going to give you an email to whoever's put in there about how the transaction has gone. So the customer can put in their own email. So you don't want to put in the customer's email here. You want to put in, if you're a user on a merchant account, maybe put yours in here. Or if you're, doing this for your boss, put your email in here, or his email or her email. Chuck it in there, and the transaction report will go through to them. So customer receipts required. Obviously, you can put that on no. I would say most of the time you just want to leave it on yes. So that means if they put their email address in, then they're going to get a receipt from this transaction, so that's obviously pretty helpful. Address required, so you can put that on no, but I would say again leave it on yes, because if you're trying to secure your transactions with the street address and the postcode of the customer's registered card, and you've put no there, it's not going to ask them for the address, they're not going to fill it in, it's not going to pass the security checks, you're not going to get your money. So I'd say leave that on yes. So I'll just show you. So if we go on to create button, so that's the button you need to click to get your own pay button. Click there. So you've got a few options on pay button, which is also very nice. So you can see here, this is the styled and unstyled. So these create an actual button, and then you can copy that into, so it gives you a nice HTML version of the button. So you can copy that into your website so they can click on there to do it. And then you can see here in the preview how it comes up. So if I'd had click here to pay, that would come up on the button. And I'll just show you the unstyled. So unstyled, it just doesn't give it that nice shading. It might do, it's obviously a lot more simple. So say you've got more simple website coding, you're not running on a big memory website, etc. You want to just keep it simple, or you just don't like the look of the pay button, put it on unstyled. Link only, so that's quite useful if you're sending it out via email. So you want to just copy that and then copy and paste it into your email. Send out to your customer saying, please click on the link below to pay. And I always like to remind them to put in their email address for a receipt, just so they get that. And now, to be very fancy, we also have a QR code which you can download, put that on your website. So if your customer scans with their phone, it takes them straight to the payment link and they can go through on that. So if we went, let's go style. Oh no, let's go link only. So yeah, you just copy that to your clipboard. Say I emailed that to myself, and then you would get that payment link through. So the link would look like that. They click on it, it would take them through to a very simple page, just asking for the card, long card number, expiry date, security code, and hopefully asking for the address and email address as well. They fill those in, and then you get an email as the person who put their email in for the merchant notification, and you would see if the transaction had gone through or not from that email, and your customer would get their receipt. Yep, so that's the pay button link. So the difference on pay button versus virtual terminal is obviously that your customer is putting in the card details themselves. So it's secure and not secure in that way. There's not really any mistakes in you taking it. You're not storing any card details for them. But obviously you're trusting in your customer to know their details. But it's also useful if you just want to be able to send out links to people. You don't want to have to be live taking transactions, let your customer pay when they want to. So there's lots of uses for the pay button. So that's the pay button and all its different versions: styled, unstyled, link, QR code, and that's how you create the transaction.